Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day two of Shark Tank for Real Women International version. This is day two, and today we are going to listen to our teams as they compete for seed money for the activities that are held on May 28th, which is the Women's Health Action Day. We have five teams competing today. We have the Brooklyn, New York team. We have the San Andres, Colombia team, the Riverside, California team, the Curacao Willemstad Dutch Caribbean team, and the Queens Long Island team. So we're very excited about what's going to take place today. If you are watching us now, we invite you to share the feed with other people. Take some time on your WhatsApp, on your Facebook, start those watch parties. On YouTube, invite the friends and family to join us. This is for a very worthy cause, the cause of supporting women and girls all over the world. We want to start out by saying thank you to our donors from last night. Beth Kalman Werner, who was actually one of our judges, donated $200, and we want to say thank you, Beth. Angela Fletcher, one of our judges, also donated $100, and Bridge Service Corporation came back with $500 after donating $1,000 at the end of the year. So that's $1,500 in total for Bridge Service Corporation, and we say thank you. We invite you to donate. You may say, oh my goodness, I don't have $100, but you have 10, you have 5, you have 15, you have 20, you have 25. We invite you to click on that link and donate for a worthy cause of supporting women and girls all over the world. I am going to bring on at this time the judges who will be with us for day two. We're going to start with Dr. Fiona Lewis. Then we're going to bring on Dr. Tricia Pennycook, Angela Fletcher, who was with us last night, and Adriana Kyle. All these women are leaders in their own right. Dr. Fiona will share with you about her Thrive University and so much great stuff that she does around nutrition. Dr. Tricia will also share with you a little bit about what she shared last night. Adriana is also the owner of Tu Imagen Comunicación, all the way from Uruguay. She'll share with you a little bit about what she does. And Angela Fletcher also is an owner of Bridge Service Corporation. So let's hear from the judges so they can tell us a little bit about their business experience. Let's start with Dr. Fiona Lewis.
Good evening, everyone. So I am a culinary nutrition and wellness entrepreneur. I teach cooking classes, plan forward cooking classes. I do webinars and seminars, and it's my pleasure to be here this evening. I've published some books and launched a seasoning collection, have merchandise in terms of athletic wear. I'm testing out some makeup. So I have fun with my entrepreneurship journey, and it's my pleasure to support these ladies this evening.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Tricia Pennycook. I have spent the last 30 years dividing my career between medicine, public health practice, and public health education. As I mentioned last night, the thread that runs through everything I've done is change management and transitioning. I am a certified executive coach. My greatest pleasure and passion is to coach women that are in that space of transitioning, trying to get into or stay into leadership positions, especially in academia. And I have known Norca for a long time, won't say how long, have been part of for Real Women International for a couple of years. And it is again my pleasure to be here tonight as judge, looking forward to what these ladies will present for us.
Adriana.
Hello, my name is Adriana. I live in Uruguay, South America. I met Norca in New York many years ago. I have a daughter. She's 19 years old, and when she was born, we decided that I will quit my employee job and be a stay-home mom. But while I stay at home, I couldn't just do nothing. So I taught myself how to make websites, and one of the first websites I did was for Norca, maybe the second or third, I don't remember. And then she told me that she needed flyers, so I had to taught myself how to do graphic design. And I have been working for Real Woman since. And now I'm the branding and marketing director. I had to look at the name because I don't even remember. All I know, I do graphics and take care of the web. And because of the pandemic, I also, like 4 or 5 years ago, decided to go into photography. I taught myself how to be a photographer. And I got a partner. She was basically my assistant. But when the pandemic came, nobody wanted to leave the house or be near you to do sessions. So we had to think something else. So we started to social media managing. We do that now for Real Woman also, and for other clients. So that's it. We do all computer and internet related stuff. And most of these I just learning by reading and watching videos. That's the way I learn better.
Thank you, Adriana. Angela.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. It's again a pleasure to be here with all these amazing women. I'm a small business owner for almost 30 years now, and my journey through that is quite interesting, but it's a story for another day. I just have learned a lot in the process of owning and managing a small business, and look forward to share anything that I've gained along the way with anyone who's willing to listen.
Thank you, Angela. And Angela is the CFO for Real Women International also. I want to ask those of us, we have quite a number of people who have joined us. Tell us, where are you joining us from? Just type it in the chat. Last night, the chat was hot and heavy. You expect no less tonight, okay? So tell us where you're joining us from. Shout out the team that you're coming to root for, or the person that you're coming to root for. We would love to see your comments so that we can screen them and the chat. We have people here saying Team Brooklyn all the way. Patty Kuyan is joining us from Moreno Valley, California. Welcome. So we're inviting everyone to just use the chat freely and just share your thoughts and support and affirm as much as you can. At this time, we are going to begin, and we're going to start with Team Brooklyn. And we have someone else telling us that you're here from Tampa, Florida. Welcome. Brenda's coming from snowy Colorado. Wow. Thank you. Brooklyn in the house. At this time, we're bringing Brooklyn on. So we're bringing quite a few members. I'm going to bring them on. I see their faces. They're going to share with us what their project is. Let's first welcome them. We have Lucinda Natalie Carty, Kim Griffith, Ramla Rain, Maricela Garcia. Am I missing anyone from Brooklyn? I think that's all the members of Brooklyn that I have tonight. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hi,
Hello.
good night.
Hi, good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Well, we're wishing you all the best as you present. We're going to remove ourselves from the scene, and you are going to share with us what your project is and what you are aiming to get some seed money to fund for the Women's Health Action Day. So we will be moving off, and you will be sharing with us.
Good night, everyone. First and foremost, I want to say hello to our Commander-in-Chief, Norca, and all the directors under her. And we're happy to be here. This is the Brooklyn team. The goal of this activity tonight is to bring awareness of the challenges of women's health and to provide resources to help women to support their health as well as transforming their health. This is important to us, this topic, because it has been known that women have been in other countries have been ostracized because of not having the proper utilities to take care of their health, especially when it comes to their menstruation. It is so important that last year, I'm not sure who watches Miss Universe, I do, and the last year winner was from India, and one of her pet peeves was that, and that's why she won, when she spoke about the little girls unable to go to school because they didn't have the sanitary napkins and the hygienic supplies to go to school. We also had the first lady from Guyana, who husband won, I think maybe a year or two ago, who also was big on it and promoted this. So I'll leave it up to my other colleagues who will tell you more about it. Thank you so much.
Okay, my name is Kim. So what we will be bringing this year from Brooklyn is Femme Hygiene. This is one of our main focus that we deal with on a yearly basis. We have been doing this for the past, I would say, 6 years, and we mostly focus on the women in the shelter. Our Brooklyn team have adopted one of the shelters in Brooklyn. So what we would do on a yearly basis is have programs, have certain resources available to them. Some of the things that we would distribute to them are things like sanitary napkins, tampons, body wash, feminine wipes, and the other necessary toiletries that are needed for them for their menstruation. Because when it comes to that part of women's health, looking at the shelters, historically, shelters do not provide these resources for them. So we take it as a task upon ourselves that we would be of help, we would be of use to them, we would provide some of these resources for them. And also what we would do when we have these activities is that we would also have different health screenings for them. Sometimes we would provide, this year what we planning on doing again is to have blood pressure checks, things like checking their weight, because some of these things that they're not available to them, especially that the shelter that we have adopted, I should say. What we noticed last year is most of the women there are not the same women that we have met the previous year. Most of these women are now the immigrants that came in, and they don't have access to these resources. They don't have access to health insurance. So we partner with other organizations that can help them with these resources, that can help them with low income health insurances, that can help them have access to taking care of their health, I should say. Also, what we do, the way we decide to promote our activity that we do on a regular basis is that we, within a month or two period, we have flyers out there. We share it on social media. We share it with our friends. We share it with our families. And so these other people would also come to support. Some of these donations also come from them. Sometimes they would decide, you know what, not everybody knows that these women in the shelters don't have access to these. Now I would hand this over to my dear colleague, Natalie.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Maricela. And my name is Natalie. And as Kim was saying, how we promote these activities and the funds. So the funds generally is around $800 for the activity, and it generally comes from us or family members or friends. We ask for donation. But this year we plan to partner with companies such as Target, Rite Aid, and others companies to seek additional funding. And so doing this, we would be definitely grateful for the seed funds as well. So we normally host this event at the family shelter, which we adopted, and we'll be adopting another one this year. And this year, the number of women we are aiming to be of service to for the upcoming activity is 250. And the reason we decided to do this activity at the shelter is because we wanted to provide the necessary femme hygiene products for the women, as my colleague just mentioned earlier on. And we also want to provide an education for them, to have access to, to have access, to have access to healthcare. And also within the last year, a number of immigrants in the shelter, they grew within the last year. So there will definitely be a need for our services there that we render to women and to our sisters, as we seek to do our best to help women like ourselves transform their health and help provide some basic necessities for them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team Brooklyn. I'm bringing the judges on. So let's hear questions from the judges. Thank you, Nathalie. Thank you, Kim. And thank you, Maricela.
Would you repeat the title of the activity, please, for me?
Our yearly theme is Femme Hygiene, and we usually branch it off from whatever the international theme is. So we focus on that particular theme. So our team this year, the international team this year is transforming women's health. So we will basically go off of that. But we will remain with the focus of femme hygiene, allowing these women to, that their body parts, especially their private parts, is very important to keep that part healthy, because in the end, if it's not taken care of, there are certain fatal health issues that can happen if it's not well taken care of.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Great presentation. I wanted to find out, it seems like this entails a great deal. I know you've done it over the years. You're now adopting another shelter, and also you mentioned partnerships and sponsorship. Have you started, is part of your team designated to start planning this, getting in contact? Because to me, it seems like, you need time to do that.
Yes, we are currently in the process of having that letter sent out. So yes, we are in the process of partnering with these other organizations for funding of not only monetary donations, but for also some of these resources, such as the sanitary napkins, tampons, all those the products that we would usually put in the care packages for distribution.
Okay, good. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, one other question. You mentioned there were other screenings that you had done for blood pressure and other. Are you planning to do that again?
Yes, we are also planning to do that as well. We usually have that on site. We partner with different health facilities. We have Doral Health that we usually bring in. This year, we were planning to go back to Mount Sinai again to see if we can have other additional health, whatever they can provide for us that we can render to the shelter.
Great. Thank you.
No problem.
It was a very good presentation. Actually, you answered every question I write down. Like, I was wondering, it was always the same women every year, and you already said that you have new women. And I was wondering if you could get companies to donate, and you got that covered. And I was wondering if you could get a new shelter, and you already are doing that. So just congratulations. It's a very good project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I listening to you all, I just want to say kudos on the sustainability of the project. It's a very simple but scalable and sustainable project. So congratulations on doing that. I was listening, according to the criteria, we were to ask you guys about recruitment and flyers and social media. So if you could clarify for me, what I heard was the flyers and the social media and the advertisement will help you draw volunteers and people who will help to donate. But I didn't hear it in terms of directed towards the participants. Like, how do
Okay.
you?
Okay,
Yeah.
so for the participants, we already have, I should say, the head liaison that we keep in contact with. We kept that connection with that head person, so we would let them know that when, or we would let that we would communicate with them which date is available, because not all the time we're able to do it on May 28th. So we would have to partner with them. We would have to have that communication with them as to when we can come to have the, and also have the event there. And also for the flyers, we would have flyers in the shelter, I would say like a month, 2 months in advance, so that these women would know that okay, we are expecting for real coming, good things are coming. So yes.
Fantastic, thank you. And that's the other thing I really like about your project. It leverages the relationships,
yes,
in the community, and that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Kim, Maricela, and Natalie. Great job. We're going to remove you, and the judges will continue maybe sharing some ideas of how to extend the project, or ideas and details that they think you can incorporate. So we invite you to listen on your home devices. Thank you for coming tonight and for investing the time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I was just thinking about the things we take for granted. And especially not just when you have these things at your reach, but also when you're past the age when you need them. Like, one of my best days of my life was being able to walk through the grocery store and not have to go to the feminine hygiene product section, because I literally could dress in white anytime I wanted to, didn't have to be looking behind me to make sure, because of so many experiences I had in school and at work where I had mishaps, because these things happen that women go through every month, that unless you're a woman, you don't understand what this literally means to be able to have this. So I love this project because it is so for women. And especially in something that, a place where you may not have the privacy, may not have the extra money, but you cannot avoid having your period. And to be able to have this, and it spans young ladies from 10, 11 years old, all the way to grown women. I really like the way this project is specifically geared towards women, and not only their physical health, but the emotional and mental health that comes with being able to feel that you're not exposing yourself to the entire world.
I was thinking about it's great, the project is great, but I can't stop thinking this once in a year. And of course, women need this 12 times in a year. So maybe they can storm, maybe they can, they can last whatever they get a couple of months, but that's it. And I was thinking maybe they can brainstorm ways to reach to the shelter more than once. Not a big event, but just go take a bag with more sanitary napkins, the basics, And I don't know, maybe I was thinking like, the adopt a child, Maybe you can get family members to adopt one woman, and when you buy for yourself, you want an extra for that woman. Something like that, or ask the companies to donate more than once a year, so they can go more than.
Yeah,
Just
great
an idea.
Great idea. Great ideas.
Yeah. As Adriana was talking, that's one of the things about this project. It's so scalable. You know, you can, once you develop those community relationships and relationships with those retail organizations, to have them do a fem health drive, right? They can donate products, and they can also have people donate products in their stores, like we do for Thanksgiving, right? So that it's something once a month, so that it can be very much like an ongoing evergreen kind of project, which is much needed, as we're all saying. Absolutely.
Yeah, those are great ideas.
Yeah, and I think the sensitivity of the people that they're serving, right? These are women who are really in need. So we thank Brooklyn. I don't know if there are any more ideas from the judges. So
I just think that, you know, the time, to me, it's something that needs the time to do it well. I'm sure after 6 years they kind of have connections and just building on it, but you know, just to give themselves enough time, you know, to get it done.
So we move now to San Andres, and San Andres today has one presenter, which will be Vilmeida Zabaleta. We're going to bring back Vilmeida. We're going to bring Vilmeida on the screen. Hi, Vilmeida. How are you?
Bien, gracias a Dios.
So, Vilmeida, you are going to present in English or in Spanish?
Spanish. My English is not too good.
Okay. So we'll translate. So Vilmeida, you present, I'll translate for you. And I'm going to remove the judges, and you'll present your project, and then we'll come back the same way we did with Brooklyn. They'll ask you some questions, and then you leave, and they'll bring recommendations. All right?
Okay.
I'm going to remove the judges at this time. Okay, Vilmeida, so go right ahead. I'll do my best to follow you.
Okay. Buenas noches, mi nombre es Vilmeida Zabaleta, para las que no me conocen, que veo que hay gente nueva en For Real Woman.
So good night, my name is Vilmeida Zabaleta, for those of you who don't know me, and there might be new members in For Real Women International.
He estado un poquito retirada, pero he hecho programas el año pasado, aunque creo que la señora Berna y la señora Laurín sabían que yo había hecho unos programitas por ahí.
So last year I have a couple of programs that I did on the island by myself.
Y pues hice uno el año pasado cuando estaba la señora Berna aquí sobre el tema de cáncer en las mujeres, que me ha tocado mucho y lo he visto como muy repetitivo aquí en la isla, y pues eso es en lo que me quiero enfocar este programa.
So last year I did a program with Ms. Verna Clark from Costa Rica. She visited, and we did a program on cancer in women. And I've seen that there are a lot of problems in the island with women with cancer, and I want to focus on that this year.
Yeah. Aquí la medicina es un poquito no muy avanzada, y aquí estamos teniendo muchas mujeres con cáncer de seno y ovarios.
Medicine here is not very advanced, and what we're seeing is a lot of women with cancer, breast cancer and ovarian cancer.
Las mujeres aquí, cuando generalmente tienen cáncer, nos toca viajar afuera, o sea, alejarnos de nuestra familia, de nuestros esposos, y pasar un tiempo que precisamente hay una vecina aquí que tiene ese problema en este momento.
Vilmeida, how far?
¿Cómo?
How far do you have to travel?
Mucha gente tiene que ir hasta la capital, Bogotá, a tratamientos de quimio y radioterapia.
Okay. And that is driving or on plane?
Plane.
Okay, so Vilmeda is saying that one of the main issues here is that when women get cancer, they have to go all the way to the capital city by plane, and they have to be far away from their family, from their support system, from their home, from their islands, to be able to be treated just for chemotherapy. They have to go away from their island to the capital city and be there for treatment.
Y uno de los problemas que he visto muchas mujeres que tienen cáncer es que están afectadas psicológicamente.
And what I see with many of the women who have cancer is that they're psychologically impacted.
Entonces mi proyecto sería como ayudar a las mujeres a hablarles, presentarles como una psicóloga con una psicóloga, una ginecóloga, para que les hable, les dé como más enseñanza de cómo cuidarse, porque muchas se han descuidado. La verdad, aquí en Norca, las mujeres aquí son muy relajadas y no paran bola de esas cosas. No se hacen autoexámenes, ni mucho menos.
Okay, so she feels that one thing that she would like to do is to bring in a psychologist to speak to the women, to strengthen them, but to also bring a medical professional to speak to the women about how to take care of themselves, because she feels that the women have kind of let themselves go in the sense that they don't do any breast exams, they don't do any type of exams, and when it is found out that they have cancer, sometimes it's very late.
Ese es uno de mis proyectos que me ha tocado mucho, porque como tú sabes, mi hermana es psicóloga y ella ha tenido que estar tratando pacientes con cáncer.
And this is a project that reaches there to my heart because my sister, Shannon, is a psychologist, and she's had to be dealing with a lot of patients that have cancer.
Y, me puse a estudiar mucho con respecto al cáncer en Colombia, y el Ministerio de Salud dice que hay un 36% en aumento con el cáncer de mujeres entre 30 y 70 años.
And the statistics here in Colombia says that there's the Ministry of Health has said that there's a 33% increase in women, las edades, por favor, 30
a 70 años.
Women between the ages of 30 and 60.
Entonces, la idea mía es conseguir como un salón donde podemos tener esa charla con los profesionales, incentivar a las mujeres y después tener un takeaway, como un recordatorio, como un magneto que peguen en las neveras, como que todos los días ellas están en una cocina y miren ese magneto a la nevera y digan, este soy yo, y el lema sería, eres valiosa, examínate.
So her dream is to get a locality where you bring the health professionals to speak to the women, for women to learn to value themselves, but she also wants them to carry away a takeaway, which would be a magnet that they can put on their refrigerator that would say, you are valuable. Make sure that you take your exams, or that you do your self exams, so that they can be reminded of the importance of getting these exams.
Sí, ese es mi proyecto. Espero que contar con la ayuda For Real Woman, eso sí.
That is my project, and I hope to get the help of For Real Women to be able to help the women here in Colombia. So, Vilmeda, I'm going to bring the judges on, and they're going to ask you questions.
Okay.
About your project.
Well, I'll start. It seems that it's a great project, extremely needed in the community for the women there. I know you said your sister's a psychologist, but do you know, or you have an idea of the health professionals you would like to request or know of them, or is there a way that you can, find these health professionals?
Yeah, sí, yo estuve más o menos indagando con unos profesionales y pues tendría que más o menos ubicarme qué más o menos qué día pienso hacerlo, porque como son ocupados, necesito establecer fechas.
Right. So she has already started having contact with health professionals. She needs to establish dates because you know these people are very busy, so that they can work it around their schedules.
Okay. What about marketing to the women?
No entendí, Ángela.
El mercadeo, ¿cómo lo vas a promocionar?
O sea, la idea mía era, le estaba comentando a mi hermana que podíamos como salir por los barrios y repartir folletos. O sea, hacer como una invitación a las mujeres para invitarlas a este programa.
So her plan is to take the flyers to the different neighborhoods, to share the flyers, inviting the women to come to the project, to the event. Sorry.
Okay, my question is, how much do you need? How you plan to spend it?
Pues más o menos yo presupuestando aquí las cuentas, estaba como, el salón sería como lo que me va, porque tengo pensado como que pues vayan como 50, 60, todas las que quieran ir a la invitación. Sería como un salón más o menos, me está costando como $100, o sea, en plata colombiana pues más o menos calcularía.
So she thinks that the room itself, the local, could be about $100 if you're thinking about the change from Colombia. And she's thinking about 50 to 60 women in the neighborhood that can be invited. Go ahead, Vilmeida.
Pues y los refrigerios con los magnetos y todo eso. O sea, mi presupuesto son como $450.
So her, you know, to have the magnets and to give the women some little refreshment, she thinks about $450 will do it for her. Any more questions? No questions. Okay. Vilmeida, thank you for being with us. You are going to listen on your device so that you can hear the recommendations. But
okay.
For your investment of your time, we know that San Andres was recently hit by a hurricane and people are still trying to piece their lives together. It's been a lot. So we thank you for looking past that to see the needs of the women in your community. That is, it really touches my heart. Thank you, Vilmeida. Thank you.
Okay. Gracias.
Okay, bye-bye.
Is this another hurricane, Norca? It seems like every time I see Vilmeida, they've gone through
they haven't
a natural disaster.
They haven't recovered from the investment has not been there. It breaks my heart to hear 33% increase in women. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, judges, take it away. What are your recommendations?
I think yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, the 33% also got me, and I'm just wondering if there are other people, other organizations that have similar ideas that she can partner with. I think the need is so great. And while I applaud her passion and her initiative, I think in terms of impact, it would be nice to see something similar, like with the other team, where there's some collaboration with some existing organizations that may have more resources to add to it, or just having a pipeline of women that they can access to, get the word out, besides going to the neighborhood. So I'm just looking for some collaboration.
Yeah, let me just jump in here. I think the logistic of that particular place is a small island. There's not been a lot of government investment there. But I think maybe you partnered with the government, some government health officials one time. Maybe you should go back there and ask them to partner with you. But I will tell you that the investment is not there. It's not there. So it's really kind of like piecing together. So I think that, yeah, getting those health officials to help her out and to really scale it as much as he can, but within that structure there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different stages of action in this disease that, depending on the resources and the capacity, is the work that can be done. So getting women together in one building at one particular time is basically an educational activity, in which sometimes what you need to show in self-exams is not easy to do in an open place. It's more easily taught one by one, where the woman herself is doing the self-examination, and that takes time. So what I would recommend, because this is so important, is that even if the government resources aren't a lot, there are agencies that she could partner with to think about long-term, what are things she could be doing. So have the education event, for example, this year, and then next year, what that would look like. Like we have seen other teams do in the same place, different events every year that build upon each other. This might be a good one to think about that way. And then maybe a way that we could support her as well as the money is trying to find ways to, I would talk to her specifically with Vilmeda to find out a little bit more about the structure of the Ministry of Health, and to think about who she could talk to start building upon this that she's trying to do. 33% doesn't happen in a year. A lot of it could be different ways of counting the women and the cases of breast cancer. There's so much here that needs a little bit of digging deeper, and I would be willing to work with her a little bit more closely to see what we can do to leverage her presence in that community.
Yeah, love it. So Vilmeda, you heard it. Dr. Penikuku is going to try her best to work with you. I think that would be great. Would be very valuable, in particular because of the setting and the way things are in the island. But again, we appreciate that you would see this as something important to do for the women in your community. And it really touches our heart. Someone was saying, for women as a whole, will need to get involved. We actually had plans to go to, if you guys remember.
Yes.
The plan was to go to San Andres, and then the hurricane.
COVID. Yes.
And then COVID came after that, and
the
hotel industry, which they so much depended upon, was totally annihilated, right? But we'll find a way. So thank you so much for that, Tricia. Thank you.
Norca.
Yes.
I will be really quick.
Yes.
I was thinking, again, maybe repeating myself in follow-up, and I was thinking maybe she could start either a WhatsApp or a Facebook group, because, you know, they go to home and a week after later they forget, or they fade. So a group that they will be accountable. Did you check yourself this week, or even for people that's already seek for support? And it's free. You use Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever.
That's a great idea, Adriana. That's a great idea.
Sign up the people that goes, and they're involve their families, friends, neighbors.
I love that idea. That's a great idea. And that way she keeps in contact with them and hopefully the group keeps growing. Thank you for that. That was definitely great advice. Thank you so much. So we are going to go now to Riverside. Even though we have Damaris there, Patty originally was not going to present, but Patty will be presenting again tonight for Riverside. So we are going to bring on Miss Patty as she presents her project. Hello, Patty. She has on a lovely pink hat today. All right.
One of those.
All right. So we'll remove ourselves, Patty, as you present.
Can you hear me though? Because
Yes,
okay, perfect. Good evening, judges. Good evening, everyone that is watching us over the media. It's a pleasure to be here again. The proposal that we have for, or that me, myself, and I have for Day of Health is it's divided in 2 dates again. The first day is going to be Saturday night, and we are going to take a walk. This is becoming something, a yearly thing during the month of May. We are taking a walk to a small mountain that is close to our home, and it's about it's like if you're running a 5K, but it's walking. Last year, we have approximately 35 women, and each of them brought in their families. And we do it in 2 parts because we have the families that come with us Saturday night, and then Sunday morning, we do another walk to the same place, but this time it's just those that couldn't attend on Saturday night, because a lot of them have to work Sunday morning. And after we do the walk, we're gonna come to my house, and we're going to have what it's called a spa day. We have a pool, massage chair, an ionic machine, and also a sauna. So everybody, but this is a focus especially for the senior citizens. We're going to have a light, healthy lunch for the rest of, for those that attend. And at this time, we only want women. We don't want the rest of the family. So if they're senior citizens, they're welcome to come and by themselves or with another woman. They cannot bring children and they cannot bring their husbands. It's just for them. It's like what we call a me day. It's me, myself, and I that it's time for me. The walk, it's important. We have to remember that walking, it's healthy. Walking is for us to, it help us to continue growing, not only mentally, but healthy. And there's a quote by Charles Dickens that says, the sum of the whole is this: walk and be happy, walk and be healthy. The best way to lengthen out our days is to walk steadily and with a purpose. And the purpose of our walking is just to be healthy. So that's one of our, the project that we present for this time for Day of the Health. The propaganda or the flyers are usually done by Adriana, and we distribute them. We have, and here in Riverside, there's 3 ladies that are part of River Mex, one of the teams that always walks and walks and walks and walks. So we have a lot of friends that we try to come up so we can invite them. We distribute the propaganda via text, on the chat, or even by email. And for the seniors, for the spa day, we do a personal invitation, and we personally hand it to them like in an invitation, in a formal of an invitation, so they can come to us. We have done this. We did it before the pandemic hit, and I had in my house approximately 12 ladies, I think, or 15. And on the spot day, we have one professional that come and talks to them about the importance of taking care of ourselves and our bodies. And then we serve a light lunch. And the money that we need, or the funding, it will be just to buy those refreshments. Everything will be natural, nothing with sugar, and to buy the food, and also just like a little token of appreciation for the ladies that will do the walk on Saturday night or Sunday morning. That's our project, and I really hope that Since last year we have 35, this year we have the double. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Patty. And I just want to say this as we bring on the judges. If you are watching tonight, or if you know someone that could donate to these causes, we invite you to donate to these causes. These are great projects. And we wish we could fund every single one of them. So this is an opportunity to say to that friend that may have a little bit extra, hey, look at what these women are doing. Donate. This is, this money is going to really reach the people in the grassroots. So let's hear from the judges.
Patty, I didn't hear. I may have missed it. Thank you once again for a great presentation and for the work you're doing, you yourself and you, for me, myself, and I. I think I missed the amount.
We can do, no, I did not mention it. Thank you. I did not mention. So I was making some math, and we could do with 150 or 200.
Thank you.
The spa day, is it just for the seniors?
We will try to do it just for the seniors. But if there's another lady that would like to join us, they're welcome to come.
And you have all that stuff at your house?
Yes, you guys are welcome to come.
Wow.
I'm coming, Miss Patty. Miss Patty.
Yeah, you guys
I'll be there if there's a spa day. Miss Patty, congratulations. I was not on to hear your other presentation, but I got excited to hear that you were specifically focusing on seniors, right? There are a lot of needs, but just to hear you speak to the need for seniors to have their me time after they've taken care of generations and probably still are, I think that is a really nice gesture. A quick question about the actual setup. Do you have like care packages, or is there something that you give to them for them to take with them?
No, I don't have any care packages. What they usually do, they come in and we have a table set up with the food or with the little snacks, and everything is natural. And I have a room downstairs where they can go and change and then go into the jacuzzi or the pool or the sauna, and then they have the option to go into the chairs. After that, before that, we get together, and one of my friends who is a social worker, she talks to them about the importance of taking care of themselves, and then we just disperse to whatever they want to do.
Fantastic. Love it. I love it, Miss Patty.
And if you really want to come, you're really welcome to come.
I'm really trying to figure out how I'm going to get to Riverside at this point from Georgia, but a rain check maybe, but I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'll figure it
All
out.
righty. Any questions?
All right. Seems like you covered all the bases, Patty. Congratulations again. Thank you for your investment in women and especially seniors. I'm taking care of everybody. It's their time now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Patty. So we'll remove you, and then the judges are going to give DS as well.
Thank you very much.
So any ideas, judges, that you think she could incorporate to extend this some more?
I'm trying to find the link between the walk and the spa on Sunday morning. She mentioned that the walk on Sunday was for those who weren't going to be able to make it on Saturdays, two different groups of people. And then my understanding of that is that it's still family oriented. But then when you move to the spa day, is women with other women, no families, no children, no husband. So I'm trying to find the link between those two and wondering if it might not be too much for one day, based on what it takes to actually have me, myself, and I set up, especially because she's by herself. to go to the walk and then come back and set up lunch and the different stations and people going in and changing and occupying the different spaces in her house. So, just a question of, we don't want Patty to end up being more tired than the women she's trying to serve on that day, because she has taken up so much, right? If she's thought about having the walk on the Saturday evening and then the spa day on the Sunday morning, if that could be an option.
Okay, in the chat. So the chat says the walk is a sunrise walk and the spa is at lunch. So it's all happening on the same day. And so they start in the morning
but it's two different. So unless they walk at sunrise and then the children and husbands go home,
right,
and only the women enjoy the lunch, and where do senior citizens come in? I'm having a difficulty visualizing the flow in the Sunday events from one to the other.
Gotcha.
That's just something that may be something that she might want to consider.
That's what it is. So I think maybe she says it in the chat if you guys can see it. I think she gave us, sometimes we give too much information. I think she gave like the background. So the Saturday is everybody and the Sunday is just the seniors and the seniors. So the children and husband only go to the Saturday walk. So then everybody walks on Saturday and everybody stays home after Saturday.
Okay.
And the select group do their thing on Sunday.
And I think she said it was for those who couldn't make it on Saturday.
She said that.
Oh, okay. So it's probably the women, I'm thinking, that couldn't make it.
Yeah. So just saying, whatever it is.
Right.
Just to make sure that it flows, because she's by herself.
Right.
Unless she has someone helping to set up. The same people she walks with at sunrise will be following her to her house for the spa day. So, how all of this will come together is where I'm having trouble envisioning.
And I follow that. You're just trying to make sure she doesn't get burnt out and
that it actually works, because she is hurt. The team is of one.
Right.
So we know what it takes to set up.
Mm-hmm.
And she is thinking of how many people?
35 last year, but 70 this year. Yeah.
That's a whole lot of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Okay, I have the River Mex team to set up for me. Okay, so she has the walking club, the walking team to set up for her. Okay.
All right.
So thank you for clarifying, Patty. Yes, this is helpful that we get the clarification.
Any more recommendations? I think this is valid. Even in the planning, as a team of one, that's a lot. It's a valid suggestion. Okay, we're going to move to Curacao, Willemstad, Dutch Caribbean. We're going to bring on Vivian Allais and Madeline Gitterson. Madeline, she needs to put on her camera. And they are going to present for Curacao for the Women's Day of Health. Welcome. We're going to do the same thing as we did yesterday. We're going to remove the judges while they take note, and the two of you will present. Vivian, do you still need me to translate, or you guys are good?
We do need translation, please.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll do my best.
Feliz noche na cada presente y na nos cuestan también.
Good night to everyone present and to our judges also.
Boa noite também de minha parte, também de nos outro colega Nandi Varil Dutch Caribbean, nós queremos mandar saludo a todos outro companheiro Nandi team e nosso líder Norca.
So we want to say hello, want to send greetings from her part, Madeline, to all the other team members for Real Women International. Go ahead.
para nos programa de Dia de Saúde e Higiene Mulher em aqui. Esta sessão de Dutch Caribbean foi para uma feira de saúde.
This year for Women's Day, Health Action Day, the Dutch Caribbean team has decided to do a health fair.
O motivo desse aqui é o seguinte: na Corsol nós temos diferentes problemas de saúde sério de nossa população.
We have a lot of serious health issues with our population here in Curaçao.
Especialmente tem roupa de nós gente mulher que sofre de pressão alta, diabetes, má circulação, colesterol.
We have a lot of the women here who are suffering from diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. It's rampant among the women and the men.
Então, essa situação tem uma situação mais de saúde que está afetando nós roupa aqui na outra roupa gente que está dialisa.
And as a result, another situation that's impacting us here on the island, we have a lot of people who are on dialysis.
De hecho, Corsol está jugando reconocer como este quatro lugares do país que tem mais tanto gente da dialisa mirando que nós somos lugar roupa chiquito.
Wow. So Curaçao, a very small island, is number 4 in the world with the largest number of people who are on dialysis.
Para esse motivo aqui, nós de Dutch Caribbean a decidir agora é que nós queremos contribuir na conscientização de nossa população, especialmente de nossas mulheres.
For this reason, we have decided that we want to create more awareness in our population in general, but specifically to the women on our island.
Também se nós vai usar o dia de saúde e higiene mulher, dia 28 de maio próximo, também nós está organizando a feira de saúde.
And that is why we're going to make use of May 28th, which is the Women's Health Action Day, to organize this health fair.
Nós queremos que saúde é a coisa mais importante que uma pessoa pode possuir.
We think that health is the most important possession that any human being can have.
No momento que você tem bom saúde, você tem bom mente, você tem pensamento tão profundo, você cria e você logra uma meta que você propõe em vida.
When you have good health, you can have profound thoughts, you can be creative, you can get and achieve your goals that you have in life.
Tem a feira de saúde aqui nós cobrimos diferentes áreas de saúde.
We're going to cover several areas of health in this fair.
Nós vamos começar com a parte de saúde emocional, que é importante.
We're going to start with the emotional part, emotional health, which is very important.
Então, pensar que nós vamos usar personal coach para poder ter charla de saúde emocional.
And we're going to bring in a personal life coach who's going to come in and facilitate a talk on mental health.
Também nós vamos invitar instituto que chama Escutame, que está especialmente com gente que está adicto.
And we're also going to bring in a foundation, an institute that is called Listen to Me, and they specialize in helping people with all types of addiction.
Onde área também conosco para que tu ne de feira aqui de parte de nutrição tanto para muita como gente grande.
Another very important part that we want to also incorporate in this fair is nutrition, not only for the adults but also for children.
Então, na Corsol, onde outra situação não conosco, tinta conosco envolve gente com sobrepeso.
Because another problem that we have in Curaçao is that we have a lot of obesity.
Também se nós invitar os jovens que lo ajudam também com a parte de diferentes tipos de exercício, tanto gente grande como jovem, ou muita por assim, para ajudar a controlar o peso.
So we're bringing 2 young people who are going to show different types of exercise that both adults can do and young children can do to help with controlling and getting more exercise.
E nossa mira agora provar como resultado de sobrepeso, houve tem problema de coração também.
And because of the problem with overweight, there is a lot of coronary disease on the island.
Também se nos invitar enfermeiro que lo trata tópico com cuida do coração.
We're bringing a nurse and he's going to facilitate the topic, how to take care of your heart.
Sim, pessoal, esse aqui é problema que nossa mira que tem ataque de coração, riba nos isla, não somente de gente de idade, sino último ano hasta entre jóvenes.
There are a lot of instances and cases of heart attack on our island, not only of people who are older, but in the last years, young people are also suffering from heart attacks.
E minha colega Madeline lo vai compartilhar conosco doctor que oferece sua hora para poder contribuir em atividade.
And Madeline has found a doctor that he is going to actually donate his time to contribute to this activity and speak about this issue.
Sí, nós temos doctor de mulher, Dr. Joaquim, que está avisa que ele vai regalar-nos 2 horas, de qual 1 hora ele dá a charla que a gente na mesa que escolhe para atender, então outra hora ele dá a contestar perguntas ou se não quer algo específico que não quer para pedir tópico, também lo está disposto para fazer esse.
So this doctor has already committed to donating 2 hours. 1 hour he will facilitate, and he's going to give another full hour for people to ask questions, even if it's not related to the topic that he presented, but just for them to feel free to be able to have contact with a medical doctor and have their questions answered.
Onde nós estamos invitando também 2 fundações de feira aqui.
We also are partnering with 2 other foundations for this fair.
Então, onde nós chamamos Fundação Prevenção.
And one of the names of one of the foundations is Foundation for Prevention.
Sim, Fundação Prevenção está screening completamente grátis para a população de câncer de matriz, câncer de peito e câncer de tripa.
So this foundation does totally free workshops and training for the population. Screening, thank you. Free screening, yes, free screening for breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and
colon cancer.
Yes.
Então, nós estamos invitando a pessoa não sepa que a gente não tem o conscientizar quão importante é para fazer na screening na tempo.
So we're bringing them because we want to also emphasize to those who attend the fair the importance of doing your screening on time.
Também nós temos outra fundação que está com câncer, que está a Fundação Wilhelmina Funds.
We also have another foundation that also deals with cancer, and this is the Wilhelmina
Funds.
Wilhelmina Funds Foundation.
Wilhelmina Funds ajuda especialmente gente que tem o processo de câncer, não ajuda com material, não ajuda com a parte emocional e também não sostener a família de pessoas que têm câncer.
So this foundation is very well known that they help the patient emotionally while they're going through the disease. They create support systems for the patient, and they also support the patient's family while the patient is going through the disease.
E mirando que nós estamos invitando não somente gente grande, sino jóvenes também e muitas nanas na feria.
And since we're inviting not only adults but also young people to our fair,
nós temos alguns cenas com apresentações, por exemplo, com pavo traseta de coco.
We're also going to have some other presentations where ¿qué seta de coco?
Coco is coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Oil, okay.
Yes.
So we're going to bring people to present, to teach us how to make coconut oil.
Coconut oil. Yeah. The Curacao style.
Curacao
Também
style.
nós temos Curacao style. Yes. Também nós temos stand camina ele por passa e check sua pressão.
And there's also going to be someone there available to take their pressure. I think you said something about smoothies, right?
Yes. Então nós temos colega de nós de Foril, que também tem stand camina e também traz smoothie para ele não por curva com saudável isso aqui também.
Okay, and one of our For Real Women International members is also going to have a tent where she's going to be preparing smoothies so that people can taste and see how easy it is and how healthy it is to make these juices.
Mirando que essa aqui é uma atividade. Madeline?
Vivian também lo sim, não conta trabalho saudável.
Kiko ta balchi.
Balchi, like meatballs.
Oh, vegetarian meat. Okay, healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vivian is an expert in
yes, kitchen,
meat, and she's going to also give some samples and some I guess some cooking classes there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mirando por essa aqui é feira bastante grande.
Since this is going to be a very large fair,
nós vai ter alguns stands também, nós vai vender revista de saúde, nós vai vender diferentes tipos de juice, também sopa de verdura, para assim ajuda a generar e fundo para nós por carga e atividade aqui se sobra costa que tem que cobrir.
So we know that this is a big undertaking. So we're also going to make sure that we will be selling vegetable soup. We will be selling magazines and books, and we're going to be selling
different kind of juices.
Yeah, all kinds of juices, so that from the money that we make, we're able to hopefully fund a lot of the areas that are going to be needed for the fair.
Yeah. Madeline vai seguir agora aqui com nós parte de como nós vai promocionar nossa atividade.
So Madeline is going to share how it's going to be promoted.
Si de bico essa aqui nós também temos centro de barrio, barrio de Swax, caminho de Hopi Hende.
So they're going to do this in a community center. It's called Centro Swax, and it holds a lot of people. Go ahead, Madeline.
Sí, lo que propaganda door di saca flyers nang. Caminda ku nanda by school nanda vecindario, tur mucho lo hay un flyer by casco ne.
So we're going to go to the schools in the neighborhood, and every child will get a flyer to go home with the flyer.
Na tienda y snack nan tambe den vecindario nos lo pega poster.
So all the shops and what we call bodegas here in the neighborhood, we're also going to put posters.
Presidente di centro di barrio a queda asina encantado de tende voril e kiko eta para pe anto ore ku ela ofrece ku nan app tambe nos lo por lage parti mensaje den app nan que tinjende nan di barrio.
And the president of the center is so excited about having this fair with For Real Women International that they have an app for their neighborhood, and they're also going to promote the event within the app towards all the neighbors in the vicinity.
E besides no si by Instagram tambe ku Facebook.
And we of course promote on Instagram and Facebook.
E também nós lo vai cerca algum ele não que nós conhece que tem programa na rádio e nós lo vai explica a atividade que nós vai ter.
So we have friends who have radio programs, and we are actually going to go on their radio programs and not only announce it but explain what the fair is going to be about.
Nosso presupuesto atual que nós temos é $625.
Quanto?
$625.
Our current budget is $625. In guilders, that's probably different. Yes.
Sure. Yeah. Então, para finalizar, nossa apresentação, coisa especial que nós decidir que nós vai fazer, tá que nós mês vai produzir dois tipos de flyer também.
So we are also going to flyer or revista, na?
Flyers.
No,
We're going to make
voucher
the
now.
kinds of
Brochure.
flyers.
Okay,
Yes.
we're going to produce
Brochures. Yes.
health brochures.
Brochure.
Yes, we're going to
Yes.
produce health brochures.
Sí, pastor, no solamente nos quer impactar un día, sino nos quer ter material que nos consiga compartir com mais gente mulher disposta.
So we don't want only to impact one day. We want to be able to have these brochures to be able to continue the work of making awareness, impacting about how to take care of your health.
Então, esse dia aqui nós vamos dar um nome especial, a healthy woman, a strong woman.
And this day is going to be called a healthy woman, a strong woman.
Aqui dá para nossa apresentação hoje.
This is our presentation. Thank you. Let me bring on the judges. Questions from the judges.
My most favorite way of, very favorite way of teaching health in communities is health fairs. My favorite way. And you have it well planned out. It is a big enterprise. I believe the budget is commensurate with what you're planning. Do you have an idea of how many women would be impacted by this activity?
Sí, nos tabisa, mita kere kusigur nos lo haya un treshen gente moe e mucha na feria aqui, sigur.
For sure, they're thinking about 300 women and even young women at this fair.
And one more question. Are there permits that you would need? I think having it at a building makes it better because there's running water, there's an opportunity to have places to wash people's hands and all of these other things. But do you need any special permit from the local health department to be able to have a health fair for the community?
Pero mita kere ku basombra ku presidente de centro de barrio, de me tim permit eigenlijk para organizar cospe barrio. Então, pergunta na assim se nós está suficiente ou nós está desejar que nós também mestre ajuda nós. Então, esse uma bisanan que me digo, segundo nós está cá no projeto nós está wak, pero na mestre permit esse sim, pero dor que ela mira que está coisa grande, então ela puntrami que me nós mestre aporte de nan of não.
So the president of the center asked her, when they saw how large the project is, they asked, do you need our help? Because we're willing to help. Or are you okay? So her response, Madeleine's response is, we're starting, we're looking, and we will definitely reach out to you if we need help. So she thinks that there is an opening there for a further partnership, and they are embracing it, but they're also willing to help.
Even if you don't think you need it, take the help.
Exactly.
Yes, surely, because
yes.
it opened more doors for us.
Yes, say yes, and it will
surely.
Help. And it will, and health fairs are like weddings. Mm-hmm. You plan everything, and then something will go wrong.
Yes.
So the more people you have to help, the better.
Yes, surely. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions from the other judges?
This is a large undertaking. Congratulations, wonderful job, well thought out. It's such a. I know you said 620
US
$20. Is that, or what will that be used for? I know it cannot cover the entire project.
No.
And
no, it cannot cover it.
Right.
No.
So what is that specifically going to be used for? And then you'd mentioned sale of soup and juice. Is that during the health fair, or that's before the health fair in order to fundraise?
Lo que, Madeline, está com nossa presupuesta para cobrir todo el gasto não básico. Então, está com nossa vai vender durante para se sobra algum custo que não pode cobrir, pero para nós na corção $625 dólares a 1.250 florins. Que es montante para nosotros, lo está casi suficiente.
Okay.
Mirando con Ecosanta Aquinada.
So $625 times 2 in their money. So when you make the transfer to their money, it's enough to cover the budget. However, they will be having
basic. Ecosanta básico.
Yes, it's to cover
Basic.
parts of the budget. However, they're going to have sales, those sales, to make sure that they can, that they're not in arrears at the end of it all.
Okay, thank you.
I love the fact that we give brochure, and I hope that I can do them. I'm already excited about that. I love to do that stuff. So it's good that the people have info to take home.
Yeah, Adriana, you will be doing it.
Yes.
So you guys start getting it ready because she's excited about it already.
Yes, that's good.
Thank you, Adriana.
Thank you, Vivian and Madeline. Fantastic project. We're just going to remove you. Thank you for coming and for taking the time and for planning this out so well. All right. So
thank you.
While the judges share some other recommendations and ideas to extend this. Thank you again.
Okay, bye-bye. You're welcome.
Feliz noche.
Feliz noche.
I think that the only concern I have is that the reason that was initially given in regards to the high number of dialysis patients in the island, I didn't see how that was spoken about directly in the health fair. So I would understand that through healthy eating and physical activity, you would decrease diabetes, which would decrease the need for dialysis in diabetic patients. But that direct line might need to be more drawn more specifically, because if that is what they're trying to attack, then that needs to be made clear for anybody who is participating. Some people may not see the link between lifestyle and the dialysis. So that link needs to be made very clear in the ads, in the promotion, in the conversations with the leaders of the health center, so that they see what they're trying to hit. And it doesn't just, we don't just assume people will get what we're trying to say, but since this is a significant problem in the island, then that needs to be specific in the way it's addressed in the health fair.
All right, judges, nothing else? Okay.
Just a large undertaking.
It is.
Yeah, but
it is.
Praying for much success for them, and with the proper time, allow yourself the time, because you're gonna need it more than you think.
Absolutely.
So now we're going to go to Queens, Long Island, and this is our last group for the night. Queens, Long Island, we have Tanya and Mirette are going to be presenting tonight. We're going to bring them on the stream. Tanya and Mirette, welcome once again.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for having us again.
Not a problem. So we are going to remove ourselves. We'll decrease while you increase, so you can share your project. All right?
Sure. Thank you. Okay, so I will start out, and then Mirette will just give more details about our project. So in the past, Queens, Long Island view this Day of Health as a community event. So we had hosted before. We joined with the councilwoman, the Gotham Health, and we hosted some COVID pop-up stations in our, or pop-up site in our local park. And we thought about how we could impact the community last year, because COVID is not so much, that site is not so much a need now. So what we did was we partnered with Highland Park Senior Facility. So what we thought about was, instead of always bringing the audience to us, why don't we go to the audience? And we decided to go to this audience where they don't get visitors as often. And we thought about what they would need. And two of the things that we, when we spoke with the residents who attend to these seniors, said that they would need like occupational therapy, because we were not able to provide any other kind of medical assistance to them. So they would need like occupational therapy. So we partnered with our occupational therapist, and she brought different movement through different songs to them. And we had a Google Slides, if we would be able to show some of what we did. Are we able to do that, or the?
No,
Oh,
you had
you will.
sent it before, so we could upload it to the system.
Oh, I emailed it last night. Oh, okay. So we had. So what we did was, when we spoke with the residents, they told us that we could invite the seniors to their communal hall. We have them, we set up. So we had pictures of our setup. We have pictures of the little gifts that we brought for them and the activities that we brought. We also brought art therapy for them. And we had like samples of the art that the seniors did. And one of the things that resonated with me when I went to the senior home was when I gave one of the ladies her little bag, her little gift bag. She was like so excited. She said, "A whole bag for me?" And that just struck me, like, you know, sometimes our seniors are forgotten. So Queens Long Island plans to go again to this same senior home, because we have developed this partnership with them, and they have invited us back. They invited us to their fair that they have in the summer. And Myret will just talk a little bit more about like some of the needs and what we're going, the goal of our project.
Well, actually, Tanya, before I even dive into that, I just want to give a little background about the Highland Care Home. It's a home that services both short-term and long-term care facilities. It's a long-term, both short-term and long-term care facilities. It houses about 320 beds. At any given time, you could have about 284 beds occupied. Some of the short-term services that they offer are temporary service after following a surgery, illness, or any kind of injury or medical condition. They can do wound care, they can do the IV therapy, post-surgical care, pain management, tracheotomy, and a variety of other short-term care that a family member cannot take care of at home. Type of services for long-term care they offer is, most of the time you have residents there where the family can't manage, because we can hear you, Tanya. So for the hello. So for the residents on the long-term care, you'll have that they cannot give themselves medication. Their physical limitations are, impaired somehow, and they cannot do meal prep for themselves. They cannot do, just the regular activities of daily living. So when we went in and see the needs, I actually for me, based on my experience of even knowing of that facilities, I've known several people who have gone through there. At the time when we visited, we were able to get onto the floor to visit a prominent member of our community. And just seeing the care that they offered to that member was actually unbelievable. She wasn't able to help herself. She wasn't alert. So she was there for a long time. Her family members weren't able to take care of her, but the staff and the facility provided the ultimate care. We saw the need for them and for us to actually go in and help and be able to bring joy to them. And just being there on that day, doing the activities, the occupational therapy, doing the song and moving to We Are Happy and seeing the joy on these residents' faces, it was just an amazing experience. We're looking to, we started actually while we were there about 42 groups. The first group had about 40, the second group had about 20. And so Tanya mentioned that we brought gifts and gift bags to them, which actually was a joy. The artwork, some of the, actually you guys cannot see some of the artwork that they produced. It was just, we were totally blown away by just the quality of the work and that these residents were there and how welcoming they were to have us there working with them. The cost, actually, Tanya also mentioned that we had a occupational therapy. We were a donation. Occupational therapy who was very good at donated her time. The art therapy, we actually gave her a stipend because she was coming from a distance, and we're looking this year to see how we can even cut that cost. We have so many teachers among us and so many talents. And while we were there, we actually were able to learn among ourselves how to get some of these artwork done, how we can purchase some of the materials that maybe are traceable and they would still enjoy that and at least cut some of the costs. So with us actually cutting some of the costs, having partnership and sponsorship from other facilities, we're thinking that it would be about a cost of, we would need about maybe $200 to $300 from, if we can get that donated to us from this group, it would be helpful.
Yes, especially to purchase the art supplies, because we had different groups for the art. We had, whether it's those who were doing hands-on painting or those who were actually creating stuff with their hand. So like we would give them the paste if they wanted to create the likes of, not the extent of a vision board, but we would give them pictures for them to create their own expectations or what they aspire for and all of that. And some were doing drawings. So purchasing the art supplies was costly for us. So if we could get some assistance with that, we would appreciate that. That's our presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Any
Miret.
questions?
Yeah, thank you, Miret, and thank you, Myret, and Tanya. Unfortunately, Tanya, I checked and I don't see it. And Angela also checked. Unfortunately,
I think I did it for the For Real Woman. I'm so sorry. I
Yeah.
have to check
Okay.
for your For
But
Real Woman.
your project was beautifully creative, and we love what we hear. So let's hear from the judges if they have any questions.
Did I miss the number of women that would be impacted by your project?
Yes, Myret spoke about, we had 2 sessions last year and we're expecting the same number, about 40 in the
40.
first session, and the other session was about 20, Myret. It was a little less.
It's wonderful.
Tanya, you're breaking.
I love it.
We had about
Oh,
40
I'm still.
total because we had actually the first set of people were 40, and then 20 they were women.
Okay, so about 6.
I think we get bad service. Hello?
We can hear you, Myra. You're good.
I can hear you, Myra.
Any more questions from the judges?
Oh, they can hear. Okay, I see some spinning going, a circle going on. So there were about total of the first set. We had about 20, 40, and then 20, 2 different sets because the hall that they used at the facility couldn't hold anyone. So we had about, say, the total women were about 40 because the group was mixed with between 60 people. There were mostly women, the majority being women. So we had about 40 women there. Hello?
Thank you.
I think our service is bad.
We're hearing you, Myra. Yes.
Yeah, we're hearing you. Adriana, Angela, any other questions?
No, I think it's great because again, it's a population that's often forgotten. You know, I counting a pleasure that I'm able or have the ability to take care of my dad with the assistance. You know, so he doesn't have to leave his home. But I can only imagine if I wasn't in that position. So that it's great that there is such a facility that, you know, sometimes you're willing, but you're just not in the position to do that. So great job. Kudos. I love it.
Thank you so much, Myret and Tanya. Really creative. Again, touching a population that is underserved many times. So we're going to remove you, and the judges will have a little bit of, you know, perhaps share some other ideas of how this can be improved and strengthened. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Any comments from the judges?
I think just
Again,
very creative.
Mm-hmm.
Each one, you know, each project was different, very creative.
Right. I wonder if at some point, just thinking about the caregivers, I know they get paid, you know, they work there and they're compensated, but at the same time, just a small token of appreciation to them, whether, you know, we're focusing on women, so we could take it that way, but just the caregivers at that facility to give them an extra thank you would be nice.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea.
Yes.
So that was our final team. I would like to hear from each one of you. What were your thoughts in general about tonight? Had some macro magna projects as well as some small heartfelt home ones. There was a mix of everything, very creative. What were your thoughts, judges?
What I like the most about tonight is something that we sometimes miss in programs, in health programs in different organizations, and I'm going to say church specifically. And that is that we just plan the program we think the community needs to have instead of planning the program for the community's needs. And what I loved about tonight is that they are so specific to the needs of each community. No one is throwing out a blanket thing there and hoping to see what will stick and just say, we're having a health program. They're looking at things that we love to see in public health. They're thinking of grew 33% in number, third in the entire country. I mean, and that again speaks to the type of maturity and growth that the women that have participated in For Real Women International have, even in thinking about how to help the community. It's centered around the community's needs, in serving the people where they are. And I love that. It's not held in a clinic. It's not just this is what we have, but very specific to community needs. And I think that is commendable. I think that makes this sort of initiative something that I really believe this could be leveraged into ministries of health in the countries, because they are looking for Ministry of Health community partnerships. And sometimes the partnerships with the community are hard because the community doesn't always know what it needs. But if there was this linkage, liaison between the health system, For Real Women International, and the community, then what the three could do would grow exponentially because of how these women are ready to serve the community where and how it needs to be served. I love it.
I think all of them are great. I wish we could just found all of them, because that will, and I hope they can all be successful, because that will mean reaching about 700 women just in this day, and that's great. So I hope I really wish we could be all winners, but I hope they can go ahead anyway, no matter the results.
Yeah. I too was impressed by the needs-based approach to what they were doing, and overall the collaborative nature of what they were doing. Already had established or were in the process of establishing partnerships and growing relationships, and really, even if they were starting, they were still moving in the direction of scalable and sustainable.
Yeah, I too was really blown away by the research that was done to see what was the needs of their community, how they can help, and then the partnerships that they can work with to get this done. I think they put all the steps together. Unfortunately, what struck me was just the great need, for awareness, for education, for resources, just the overwhelming need. But, in our part to play in getting some of those needs met. But I think that they thought it out. They focused on what the community needs, who can we collaborate with to get this done. So it was every presentation was well thought out.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I definitely agree with you, ladies. I just want to screen something here that I think this is Myret. She was saying that they did bring you to the caregivers also. Thank you for sharing that, Myret. So yeah, very important that they also took care of the caretakers. We want to share with you that we're on tomorrow, second to last day. Tomorrow is Day of the Girl, and everybody for Real Women loves Day of the Girl. Like that is the one event that every team wants to do. Tomorrow we have Queens, Long Island, Riverside, California, Curacao, Willemstad, Dutch Caribbean. Limon, Costa Rica is joining us for the first time tomorrow. And then we also have Brooklyn in the house again, sharing with us, competing for seed money for projects to support the girls in their community. We want to thank the judges, and Tanya here was saying thank you for your feedback. We want to thank the judges for the time that you have invested in this, coming out here, being with us, and just giving wisdom and adding more to the more shape to the structure that's already there. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and good night. Good night. Good night. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow at 8. Hey, share with the friends who have a little bit more money Say to them, hey, I'm part of this organization. Look at the great things we're doing. They could use a donation. And even if they don't have money, they got $10. Let them put the $10 in the donate. Okay, so share it with your friends tomorrow. Hey, look at what I did last night. Look at what my organization is doing. Would you like to donate? Would you like to be part of us? Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great, great evening, rest of the evening. Thank you.
Norca, do you need us to stay or no?
Yes, please stay in the green room, the judges. Thank you. Bye-bye.